Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Can love survive under the harshest spotlight? Imagine two of China's brightest stars, standing before the world, vowing not just to love, but to live and die together. Tonight on Star Watch Now, we reveal the breathtaking story of Ziyu and Tian Xuning, a vow that shook the entertainment industry and left millions of fans in tears. The Chinese entertainment world has always been a stage of glittering glamour, endless rumors, and fleeting romances. Yet sometimes, a story breaks through the noise. A story so raw, so powerful, that it stops the world in its tracks. This is not just another celebrity headline. This is the story of a vow that may be remembered as one of the most extraordinary love declarations in modern entertainment. At the heart of their story lies the moment that changed everything. The vow that transformed two celebrities into something more than figures on a screen. When Ziyu and Tian Xuning sat before the cameras, the world expected polished words, the kind of charming exchanges that stars are trained to deliver. Instead, what came out was raw, trembling, and unforgettable. Ziyu, his voice carrying the weight of countless unspoken battles, confessed that life was unpredictable, that the world could turn upside down at any moment, but with Tian by his side he believed he could face anything. It was not a rehearsed line, not a sentence designed for headlines, but the unfiltered truth of a man who had found solace in someone who had walked through storms with him. His eyes, filled with unspoken gratitude and vulnerability, told more than any words could. And beside him, Tian Xuning responded in kind, her own voice heavy with emotion. She admitted that Ziyu was not simply a companion in her career or a partner in fame. He was the reason she found the strength to stand up each time she fell, the force that reminded her why life was worth living even when the weight of the industry threatened to break her spirit. Her tears were not for the cameras but for herself, for the man who had never left her side, and for the courage it took to declare such intimacy in a world that thrives on tearing people apart. The silence that filled the room after her words was as telling as the confession itself. For a fleeting moment, the glitter of fame disappeared and what remained was simply two people, bound by a connection deeper than most could ever imagine. This vow, to live and die together, carried more than dramatic flair. It was the culmination of years of struggle, resilience, and unyielding loyalty. It was a declaration to the world that love, even under the harshest spotlight, could remain genuine, could refuse to bow to cynicism, and could still be a force powerful enough to leave millions breathless. In that moment, Ziyu and Tian were no longer just stars. They became symbols of hope, of love's endurance, and of a promise that resonated far beyond the confines of entertainment. The reaction to Ziyu and Tian Xuning's vow was immediate, overwhelming, and deeply divided, a testament to how profoundly their words touched the public consciousness. Within hours, the internet was ablaze. Hashtags related to their promise spread across Weibo, quickly crossing borders and reaching international headlines. Fans wrote endlessly about the moment, replaying clips as if they had just witnessed a scene from the most moving love story ever told. Many were reduced to tears, expressing how rare it was to see such sincerity in an industry often overshadowed by scripted romances and manufactured images. They called Ziyu and Tian the Chinese Romeo and Juliet, not because their story promised tragedy, but because their love appeared both timeless and fearless in the face of scrutiny. For their supporters, this vow was not an exaggeration but a revelation of the strength they had always believed existed between them. Yet, with admiration came skepticism. Critics questioned whether the words were too heavy for two young stars still navigating the uncertainties of fame. They wondered if pledging to live and die together was a romantic gesture or a reckless statement shaped by the intensity of the moment. Some argued that such a vow was dangerously dramatic, setting expectations that reality could never sustain. But what set this story apart was that Ziyu and Tian did not retreat in the face of doubt. Instead, Tian's personal post, declaring that their vow belonged to the present moment and was born of genuine honesty, silenced many voices of criticism. It was as if she reminded the world that love need not be perfect or eternal in order to be true. It only needed to be real in the moment it was spoken. This tension between devotion and doubt gave the vow a life of its own. It became more than a confession between two lovers. It became a cultural event, a mirror reflecting how society grapples with loyalty, romance, and the meaning of commitment. Whether one was a fan or a skeptic, no one could remain indifferent. The reaction revealed not just the fascination with celebrity love, but also a deeper yearning for authenticity in a world saturated with artificial connections. In sparking this mix of adoration and debate, Ziyu and Tian proved that their promise had struck a universal chord, leaving behind a story that transcended entertainment and touched something far more human. Beyond the dazzling lights of the stage and the carefully polished images projected to the public, Ziyu and Tian Xuning's story unfolds with a depth that few truly see. Their vow did not emerge from a fleeting romance or a scripted publicity stunt, but from years of shared struggle, sacrifice, and resilience. Both came from modest beginnings, armed only with ambition and the fragile hope of making their dreams real in an industry notorious for its cruelty. They faced rejection after rejection, nights where exhaustion outweighed courage, and moments where the glare of gossip threatened to shatter their resolve. Yet each time the world tried to push one of them down, the other was there, offering not only a hand to hold but the quiet reassurance that they were not alone in the battle. It is this history, invisible to outsiders, that made their vow carry such unmistakable weight. When the cameras were off, Ziyu and Tian were not only partners in love but in purpose. They became each other's shelter against the relentless storms of fame. Away from headlines, they quietly engaged in acts of kindness, visiting children in hospitals, contributing to charities, mentoring young artists who reminded them of their own struggles in the early days. These moments, hidden from the glossy pages of magazines, revealed the essence of their bond. A love that was not limited to grand declarations, but one that extended into actions rooted in empathy and shared values. Their relationship was not just about romance. It was about building something greater together, something that gave their fame a deeper meaning. To understand the true magnitude of their vow, one must see it against this backdrop of hardship and devotion. It was not a promise made lightly, nor was it designed to impress. It was the culmination of years spent walking through fire, holding each other up when the weight of expectations became unbearable. Beyond the spotlight, they were simply two souls who had found in each other the strength to keep going, to believe when belief felt impossible. That is why their vow resonated so strongly. It was not the glittering spectacle of two celebrities, but the quiet truth of two people who had endured, survived, and still chosen to walk forward together. In the end, what makes their love remarkable is not the stage on which it is displayed, but the unseen sacrifices that sustain it, reminding us that behind every star there is a human heart longing to be understood. That is why their vow struck such a deep chord. In a world where headlines scream of betrayal, feuds, and broken promises, Ziyu and Tian's words offered something rare. A reminder that love can still be sacred. That loyalty, though old-fashioned to some, can shine brighter than any spotlight. Industry insiders have even whispered about adapting their story into a drama or film. Imagine watching this modern fairy tale on screen. Two souls tested by fame, yet refusing to let go of each other. For fans, the vow became personal. One wrote, "Your love is our inspiration. I hope your promise lasts forever." Another confessed, "If there is any love worth believing in, it's yours." But beyond admiration, their story sparked reflection. Many began to ask, what does loyalty mean in our own lives? Are we willing to stand by someone through every storm? This is what makes Ziyu and Tian's vow transcend celebrity culture. It is no longer about fame or gossip. It is about reminding us that true love is not about luxury or perfect moments. It is about presence, courage, and commitment. Chapter 6. Inspiration, 6 o'clock. And so, this vow has become more than breaking news. It has become a living legend. A love story that may one day be remembered not for its glamour, but for its humanity. For the way it made millions believe again in loyalty, in resilience, and in the kind of love that does not fade under pressure. As we watch Ziyu and Tian Xuning's journey unfold, one thing is clear. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a story that has the power to inspire generations. Whether their vow leads to marriage, a lifelong partnership, or simply remains a moment in time, its impact has already etched itself into the history of modern entertainment. If this story touched your heart, imagine the countless untold stories waiting to be discovered here on Star Watch Now. Backhand index pointing right. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay with us as we continue to uncover the most powerful, emotional, and inspiring moments from the world of stars. Thank you for watching, and remember, behind every headline lies a heartbeat. And here we bring those heartbeats closer to you.